Hello, welcome to Betweenlands. It's going to be a very quick look at this. So let's see what we can do. So we've got this guy. This guy you may find spawning, called a lurker. He should really spawn in the water. He seems to be able to right on land though. You can see we're going to get some lurker skin from that, right? Now say we find some of this. Hollow logs. We can take an axe. We'll just stick with Valenite. This is the best. This is like diamond gear. You can see we're going to get dry bark. If we combine the dry bark, we can create M8 paper. Combine that with the lurker skin, we can create the herb lore book. Okay, so this is important for making potions. Okay. Now what we need to do is, in the world, you're going to find this basically. Now, if we get this, which is also used with just some regular, this is the most basic wood, I'm going to use reeds as well. If we break that, you can see we're going to get moss. Now, if we get a pestle and a mortar, this is made with crag rock. I won't go into that, but basically you can find it. It's normally, there is a crag rock thing, but yeah, you can find it. We put that in there. We put that in there. Shift right click to open the interface. And you can see the moss is going to go. I'm going to create ground moss. Okay, next step. Say we have these weedwood bushes. So I'm just trying to simulate what you might actually see, right? Let me just get rid of those nearby for a moment. I don't know if I need to have them around, but they should be a bit further away now. Okay, so say we have this guy, the gecko. You'll see he'll go into the bush, right? If you then make a net, and that's made pretty basic, you can break this. You can see he's going to keep on trying to hide in the bushes. Now let's make sure I've got the where's the net? Okay, it's number 9 there. So he's in this one. Okay, so you can see we've got the gecko. So what we need to do then is to make a gecko cage. Gecko cage needs simonite. This is it's like iron in the Betweenlands. Put the gecko cage down. Put the gecko inside there. Now the reason we crafted the book is because we need to research the aspects on the moss. Okay, and it has to be ground moss, so that's why we use the pestle and mortar. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some ground. Let's. I think I should be able to do this in peaceful. Okay, so if we get some more ground moss. Now when I shift over this, nothing appears, right? I'm going to right click. It says you can hear the gecko's belly rumbling and it seems to burp a lot. And you can see I now have Kellerwin aspect 0.45. I'm going to do that again. Okay, the gecko's still recovering. Hopefully it should be ready soon enough. Not quite sure what the hold up is here. I could just do another one, but let's just do another one then, it'll be a bit quicker. And okay. So it says the gecko scale seems to be glowing slightly. And we click here. You can see we've got ordinance now. We click here again. It says you've never seen a healthier gecko. It's bursting with energy. Okay, so we've got Kellerwin, Ordinance, and Yearwin. Yearwin seems to be much, much higher. So what do we need to do now? What we want to do is we want to make this into a potion. Okay. So to do that, we're going to need an infuser. It just requires this stuff, octene, I think it's called. Yep. And we're going to get some peat as well. And we're going to set up the infuser. Okay, so that's probably not the best place to put it. Let's put it one below here. We'll put the peat down here. And we'll set it on fire with just need to use, I think we need to use, do we use ground moss? No, we have to use normal moss for this one. So this, if you get the normal moss, by the way, if you do yeah, what I was trying to say is if you get the shears, right, these are the shears you get normally. If you break it by hand with nothing in your hand, you'll get nothing. If you do this, you'll get this, as opposed to this item, right? which I got before with the sickle. But anyway, so you need to sort of use both of these. So then we can click on this. Okay. So then what we want to do is put the infuser on top. Okay. So then what we want to do is get some swamp water. I'm just going to create for this bit just so I can put. It's 3 buckets. 2, 3. Okay, so we know what the ground moss has got on it, so we're going to want some of that. Let's try putting in, say, 3 pieces of ground moss. So we're going to right click here, 2, 3, and then we're going to begin stirring the pot. Now there's a few things, I mean I did stir a little bit early there, but what's going to happen is we're going to see there's certain things you have to pay attention to when you're stirring the pot. The first one is you actually need the water to boil first of all. So in a few seconds now the water's going to boil. In a few seconds, come on. It will come really, really soon, I'm sure. It's almost there. You're going to see little blue particles. There we go. It's got a few particles coming off it now. The green ones first. And there it is. So now we begin to stir. And you can see gradually the liquid is becoming bluer and bluer. And you can automate this, by the way, using a life crystal. Now we're waiting for a special sound that's going to happen. It won't happen now, it happens just after it goes. It's almost there. So it's going to go deep blue. There's a specific sound we're waiting for. It's probably about 20 seconds away. But it's very noticeable when you hear it. I'm not sure if we need to be this. That's not what I wanted. I'm not sure if we need to be this sort of picky about it. Shift right click to get it out. And you can see it's this sort of brown colour, right? Okay, so what we need to do now is get the alembic out. Okay. And in it goes. So, and that's basically it. Now we're going to get something called the elixir. We need to use this. These are found inside the larger trees, this dendrithist. You can also, there's other things you can create with it, but yeah, you create the alembic is octine and dendrithist and stuff like that. But yeah, this is a pretty, it's a pretty cool mod, to be honest. There's a lot of stuff in it. And I'll show the elixir, but this one takes actually even longer than this, I think. It takes about 2 minutes. With regards to the book, though, I want to actually just show a few things about it, because the book is quite interesting. So you can see that, for instance, we got Ordinus, so we can see that that's in moss, right? And we also got Yearwin. So that's what we're making at the moment. And the reason... yeah, where's Elixir of Feasting, right? So that's in Yearwin, and we've also got Ordinus, and the other one was... well, we can see, can't we? It was a Kellerwin as well. And these are all the different potions that you can make. And yeah, this is just a tier 1 potion, but it gives a very good idea what you need. And if you want to see, there is a way to actually see. If we go to list of ingredients here, you You can see these are all the things that we can, everything that needs to be ground stuff, right? So I use the ground moss, but all this other stuff can be ground as well. If we go right, I think it's you see ingredient info. You can see this is what actually unlocks in the book. You see I can't go any further because all I've unlocked is this, and you can see Yearwin, Ordinus, and Kellerwin, and this is actually the recipe for the elixir or feasting, which is a tier 1. And there's a lot more we can do with this. It's obviously a pretty large mod. There's a lot of mobs, a lot of cool stuff going on with it. But I just wanted to show something basic. Valinite, yeah. So the ores, just to clarify this, so octene, valinite, sulfur you need is like fuel, it's like the coal. Scabious stuff, if I wanted to, what I could do is if I got the special, you can get a different crafting table as well. You see, you can get the weedwood is the most basic sort of stuff. And what I could do is just get a load of these scabious crystals. And you see there's barely any coating left. Now it's got well coated 600, and you actually get an advancement for that as well. So that's a good way to, and yeah, and the octene, scabious, and you need obviously. I'm trying to remember how to spell this. This blue stuff. What's it called? Cerumerite. Anyway, let's have a look. So you need to get these. Vials. The orange ones are actually rarer, I believe. I'll do an orange one maybe. And what's going to happen is in a second. Finished? It's almost finished. It's almost finished. I'm sure of it because I've sat through this a few times, so I know. There's probably just a few seconds left on this. And I wanted to actually just do one more thing while I'm here. If you look at the blue iris, just to show the difference between the shears and the sickle. See, when we get this, if I can, being survival might help. When we do this, you see, we just get the blue iris back. When we use the sickle, we're going to get blue iris petals, right? And then, if I put these in the in here, right? Now, sometimes it doesn't actually work like this. In that case, what you have to do is you sort of just have to right-click on the pestle like that, and then it will work. And you get ground blue iris, and you see, and then it would be the same thing. Go back to feeding the gecko. So, well, I didn't actually even see that one before, and you can see now we've got our Armanis 5.84. That's quite high. Okay, so if we get the vials now, let's have a look, see what happens. And you can see I've got elixir of feasting. And the reason for that is because the elixir of feasting, it happens to be made up of exactly what's in the ground moss. And that, I think, is just going to do it for this video. So thanks for watching.